Boxing legend Mike Tyson is one of the last people you'd want to disrespect, and some interviewers learned that the hard way. Like this reporter who went back on his word and blindsided Tyson with questions about his 1992 conviction after promising backstage he wouldn't bring it up.
Some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, because it's negative and you're being negative. And I met the mayor, right, and nothing they can do about it.
That's when Tyson's manager jumped in to save the interview. But it was too late. Tyson was furious, and there was no stopping him now.
Mike spent quite a bit of time yesterday talking about his life, highs and lows.
It's so interesting because you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of
Hey,
with that
come
comment.
On.
No, that was a piece of That was a piece of
we're doing live TV now.
I don't care. What are you going to do about it?
All right.
Realizing he'd made a huge mistake, the reporter scrambled to steer the conversation back to Tyson's one-man show, the whole reason for the interview. But Tyson refused to let it go.
You got a show that you're doing tonight.
We are.
A lot of people
are where it comes raw and it's the real truth.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be there to see your show. Just tell us a bit about it. Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me here talking to a rat piece like you.
Oh, come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece.
All right.
You really didn't have to.
We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Things got even more heated in this next interview, as Tyson's frustration boiled over when asked about his upcoming fight, with his profanity forcing the segment to be cut short.
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
kill this mother?
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it? What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
You take into the ring a lot of rage. Does that work for you, or does it work against you at times?
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
This next reporter just wouldn't back off, repeatedly bringing up Tyson's violent past just to get a reaction. But Tyson wasn't playing games and put him in his place.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of, you said things like before fights about your opponents. I want to punch him on the tip of the nose to drive the bone up through his brain.
You know what? What do you want to get from this interview?
I want to see how much you've changed, Mike. You're a different person now, aren't you?
You're irritating me now. I guess I did change because I'm not assailing you, but you're irritating me right now because I feel that you're evoking stuff from the past. That stuff is 15, 20 years ago.
That's when the reporter went too far, bringing up the tragic loss of Tyson's 4-year-old daughter, and you could see Tyson on the brink of losing it.
It had an effect. You mentioned family there. I mean, the awful incident with your daughter.
I'd rather you not talk about that.
You don't want to talk about that?
Yes, don't talk about that, Doorman, all right?
This next reporter thought he could push Tyson's buttons by showing him some photos. And whatever Tyson saw, it set him off instantly.
You know you're a real all right?
What? What's the matter?
You're a real gets hit me with all this disgusting pictures.
Oh, no, but if you don't want to comment on it, don't.
I will
I'm just
comment on it, but you're a
No, what? No, I didn't. I'm just trying to, we're trying to, if you don't want to comment on it, you don't have to.
I am going to comment on it, but you're a just letting you know. Continue.
We're coming back here.
You're unsensitive. You have no sensitivity to anything. It doesn't affect me, but I mean, you have no sensitivity. You don't know how this affects me.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that your life is the point I was making, Mike, and I'm going to ask you about it.
All right, and I give you my opinion, what I think about you.
But Tyson wasn't done yet. In this next interview, another reporter tried calling him out for a so-called sexist commercial, and Tyson shut her down just as fast.
Does that worry you, starring in a obviously sexist ad?
No, because it's really all done in fun. And people could look at it being sexist, but it's not enough to make a big stink over.
Still, the reporter wouldn't let it go, doubling down and even invoking Tyson's children in a desperate attempt to frame him as sexist.
How do you feel having a daughter in this age of the Harvey Weinstein scandal and then starring in an ad that's a bit sexist? Do you think that's a bit of a worry? Did you sort of think twice about that?
No, didn't think twice about it. Because it wasn't offensive.
So what do you does your daughter talk to you about the women empowering movement that's been happening this year? What do you discuss it? Because it's pretty big in the news.
Well, my daughter's only 7 years old and she wouldn't be able to comprehend that right away right now.
As the reporter kept pushing, Tyson finally cracked, his frustration written all over his face. But even through the nonsense, he still fired back with some solid wisdom.
What do you sort of, talk to her about, in growing up?
Well, I talked to her basically about discipline and learning to handle disappointments. Because she can't win them all. I have to explain that to her. Anytime you want to be the best at anything in the world, there's always going to be some disappointments. And I'm trying to convey that to her.
But Tyson's interview with Joe Rogan took an awkward turn when Rogan laughed off something Tyson was clearly serious about, and Tyson didn't hesitate to call him out.
When you were working out with Cordero and you were ripping to the body and throwing those hooks, I was like, this is a man who's preparing to go to combat. This is not normal getting ready to work out. That's why when I saw that video, I was like, oh.
Want me to tell you something about that video?
Yeah.
I did that video and I was in bed for a week. That was 30 seconds and I was in bed for a week. And it's not funny because it made me realize that this is big boy, okay?
Big boy.
Big you was
there
out,
it is right there.
Yeah, that wasn't really cool.
Tyson's temper flared again when this next reporter implied he was just a gimmick, and Tyson made sure to shut that down immediately.
When in your career are you going to actually fight a contender in your weight class and not do gimmick fights?
I think he just called Mike Tyson a gimmick.
What did you just call me again?
I didn't call you anything.
What did you call me?
I didn't call you anything.
However, when this reporter thought he could sneak in a subtle jab at Tyson, the boxer saw right through it, calmly and confidently setting him straight.
The idea was to put this thing on free TV, was it?
Mine, John.
Is it partially because you didn't think the fight could sell, or do you think it's just being kind?
There's no one, really, you're being smart, Alex.
No, I'm just curious.
No, I'm going to tell you something. To be honest, forgive me, God, there's no one that can outsell me. There's no one that can compete against me in my field. And when it comes to my field, I'm the best, and there's no one that can even compete. So why would you say this? There's no one to compete. You should know that. How can they compete?
In this next interview, things get uncomfortably tense. Tyson seems dismissive, even rude, leaving the interviewers wondering if they somehow offended him.
What would you describe as the happiest time in your life, Mike?
I don't remember.
Do you ever worry that you're being used for how open you can be about the things you've done in your life?
I don't know. You're the one to give doing the interview. You tell me.
But then, in a surprising twist, Tyson noticed the tension and quickly explained he's just exhausted from days of nonstop interviews. And honestly, you can't help but feel for him, because it's clear he's trying his hardest to show he's a changed man.
Do you figure that I'm avoiding anything, sir?
No, not at all. But I'm not sure that you're enjoying it either.
I've been working all day for 3 or 4 days. I'm really tired, and if I'm offending you, I'm sorry. I'm just really exhausted. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm not no perpetual happy guy. I'm not happy 24 hours a day, every second of the moment. I'm happy. Hee hee ha ha. But I'm cool.